we focus on helping you claim what's rightfully yours, your health, and your freedom. We explore the three main areas of health: the physical realm, the biochemical realm, and the mental and emotional realm. We also explore all the areas of lifestyle we can find that will help you live more abundantly, regardless of where you're starting. And remember, in life, you'll either make excuses or create results. You choose. I'm your host, Dr. Josh Hant, and I'm glad to be with you here today. Make sure to head on down to the show notes and click on the link to join our tribe of human-powered life heroes, where we'll update you on new shows, events, product launches, and so much more. Now, it's time to enjoy the show. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Dr. Josh Hant here for the Human Powered Life podcast. And I have some questions for you today. I want to go over a lot of things that are going on in between our ears. So let's start with this. Let's start with a comment and then some questions. Challenging and suffering are optional. I want you to expect miracles. What do you expect from life? Anything? Are you endlessly dreaming about what you think you want? Do you live in that what if mentality? Could it be better? Could it be worse? You get to choose. So as we dive in today into this episode and learn a little bit about what's going on in between your ears, I urge you to pay attention and actually use those neurons. Use those brain cells. Start thinking. Because I will tell you, every single day, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, there are an endless amount of thoughts going on in between your ears. And frankly, most of them are unconscious. Frankly, most of the time, you're not choosing what you want. You are just absorbing information from around you, people around you, events around you, environments around you, and putting thoughts into your head. What if you could actually start to take some action and make some big changes in your life? I truly believe the universe is conspiring for us. And I also truly believe that we can manifest our destiny. What do we truly want? So whether you're listening in a car, on your headphones, watching this live as I stream across many networks, take the time and think. What do you really want out of life? Is it worth working for? Is it worth bringing people of like mind together around you to support you and you supporting others to make the changes you ultimately want in your health and in your life? I can tell you this. I, just like you, definitely have had those thoughts in my life, those negative thoughts, those things that bring me down. And when I bring myself into that sensation, that feeling, that emotion, it's easy to get stuck there, right? Isn't it like time, like, and oftentimes we also compare ourselves to other people as well. Wow, that other person is making so much money. I wish I could have that. That person is going on these amazing vacations. I wish I could do that. That person is so fit. I wish I could be like that. And I can tell you this, we all are given many opportunities to make changes in our lives. And I often see myself falling victim to myself, not to anybody else, but I fall into some of those traps where here, holy cow, that person is collecting so much money. I cannot believe that that's happening. Is that even possible? Is that realistic? And yes, it is, but it's actually happening. So we can actually start to manifest these things in our lives. And I put, the challenges and the suffering is optional. And, suffering, I guess we can use that as a, kind of a weird word for some people. As an ultra runner, we call it a suffer fest oftentimes because we're pushing ourselves, our physical and mental selves to the limit. And I can tell you it's really a hard thing and an easy thing. And it's an actual fun thing. As weird as that sounds, getting yourself into those really challenging times pushes your body and your mind to the brink, to that limit, and then it cracks a little bit. And then there's more opportunity, there's more to push through. So there is suffering. There is definitely something to learn from doing physical challenges, and that may be a solution for many of you in your headspace. And I can tell you that now that I've taken, I'm back running again, but I took many months off. I took about 3+ months off from running due to an ankle injury. And I'm not 100% yet, but I'm actually back running again. Not to where I need to be or want to be, but I'm doing it, which I'm very, very excited. So my challenge for me during that time, the suffering for me during that time, during those months as an athlete, we're not moving the way I wanted to. So what did I have to do, or what did I do? I adapted to my situation. When I realized I couldn't run, I could do other exercise. I could do other things. I outfitted my house in 2020, 2021 with some tools that I can use to exercise, right? Some equipment, certain things that I can fit in my own home that I can actually use when I'm not out on the trail, when I'm not using my one treadmill that I have at home. So I was able to do some endurance work. I was able to do some strength work. And the really cool thing is this: I may have put on a little bit of fat, and I'm okay with that. Not really, but I want to burn some of that off. But I can tell you, strength-wise, I've gained so much strength. Since November 5th, I was about 182 pounds and around that weight at that time. I'm almost 200. I'm 197 plus pounds right now. With clothes on, I'm probably pushing that 200-pound mark. I feel great. I feel strong. I like the way I look in a shirt. Is that really going to be benefiting me as an ultra runner? Maybe, maybe not. Running light is a lot easier than running heavy, but who doesn't like a challenge, right? So physically, I put myself through some of these things. I got injured and I had to adapt and change, but my suffering was not running. So in your life, where are you actually taking the time to see where you need to grow? Where are you taking your headspace where you need to grow? So I'm going to give you a couple tips, a couple ideas, a couple ways to think about what you can do to not only be better, but start doing better, start acting better. And I can tell you that a lot of growth will happen in the challenge. A lot of change can happen in the challenge. And even in that suffering, even if it's a little bit, if it's mild suffering, it can happen as well. And I don't mean in a bad way, like we lost a family member, even though there's definitely something to learn in that as well. So first thing you can do ultimately is make the mental decision to start paying attention to your thoughts during the day. And no, you're not going to be able to follow thousands and thousands and thousands of your thoughts. What you can do is start your morning off with a simple meditation by just simply sitting quiet. If you need to put on some very mild, maybe meditative type music without words, without people talking to you, without like a groove that you're going to start like bopping and beating your head and trying to sing along to something, put something calm on, sit with yourself anywhere between 5 and 20 minutes and just calm your mind. I don't want you to empty it. That doesn't happen. I don't care who says that. What you can do is you can calm your mind and just start to become aware of the thoughts that are coming into your head. And you'll have everything from, what am I eating today, to what am I wearing today, to holy cow, I forgot to do X, or walk the dog, or whatever it may be. You're going to start to have all these. And what I want you to do during that time, I want you to stop, pause those thoughts for a second, say, great, I'm here, my eyes are closed, I'm with myself at the moment, and just focus on your breathing. Focus on just your inhale and exhale. If you want to make it a little more challenging, a little more fun, see if you can do this by inhaling and exhaling out of your nose only. It's pretty neat that you can do that. It's going to feel weird and challenging, but at least to me it does. It may not to you, but I would start doing that and just sit in that and just start to pay attention to your breath and your thoughts and start to keep refocusing yourself and refocusing yourself. So the first and most important thing is, hey, we're giving you a short break here where you can head down to the show notes or lifestylelocker.com and join our tribe of human-powered life heroes. You'll be the first to know about new shows, events, product launches, affiliate specials, and more. And now, back to the show. Being able to focus your thoughts on what you want to focus on. So I would ultimately start with the breath work. The second thing you're going to do, if you haven't done this already, if you've never written down some goals or affirmations or things you want to do, I'm going to give you just one simple step. Start with some simple affirmations. And the way you do this is you're starting with these two words, I am. And you're going to say this quietly in your head, and you can even say this out loud in front of a mirror after you've had some of your quiet time. And you're going to say, I am successful. I am healthy and fit. I am constantly learning and growing. I am. And they can be anything. Your I ams can be anything you want. I would urge that you at least have 5 to 10 of them. And something I learned from Jack Canfield recently, if you have a few of them, if you have like maybe let's say 5 of them, which you can remember, because hopefully you're going to be able to start doing this. Every time you walk through a doorway, so right, every time you take steps and walk through a doorway, repeat those 5 I ams. Try that for 30 days. See if you can do it for one day. You're going to have a holy cow moment when you realize I walk through a lot of freaking doors. And that's great because you know what? Once you start to ingrain that mantra, those I ams into your mind, they're going to be the things that start showing up regularly. And when you're starting to do all of the do's, right? You're being something, but now as you start to take your action steps, those are going to be in alignment with what you're doing. And yes, if you're working a job or you're doing something that you may not be enjoying so much, those I ams are going to become very powerful because they're going to hopefully lead you and guide you and help you manifest something better into your life. Whether it's a new job, whether it's a raise, whether it's creating a better relationship with the people you work with, whatever it may be, use those 5 I ams, right? So we got breath work, we have those I am statements, those affirmations that you can do all day. Definitely dive into those. They're really powerful. The third thing I really want you to do, if you're not doing this already, is move your body. And I don't mean show up at the gym and putting headphones on and just, slowly, I'm just going to lift some weights just so I can move my body. I'm going to walk nice and gingerly on a treadmill. Frankly, unless you've had an injury, you can definitely push yourself a little bit. And for those of you that can already push yourself a little bit, push yourself a lot. Right? I want you to feel sore. I want you to raise your heart rate. I want you to get to the point where if you're on that treadmill, you're on that bike, you're on the skier, the rower, when you get to the point that you want to stop because you're exhausted, add 60 seconds more. Every day you do this, keep adding more time. A great example, and I do my best to do this. I started running again, is I will set out and great and say, you know what? I'm going to set my watch, I'm going to set my GPS, or I'm going to set my treadmill for 5 miles. And then I'll get going. I have either like a TV show that's mindlessly in front of me. I have either be sitting in an audiobook or I'll be sitting quiet, which is the hardest thing to do. And it's actually a great thing to do if you can do it. Actually, you can do it. It's a great thing to do. Not if you can. You go through and you just push yourself. All right, I'm gonna go for 5 miles, and when I start getting to that 4+, I'm like, you know what? F it. I'm gonna go for 6 miles. And that's 10 minutes more. But when you can get used to being in the challenge to be a little bit better, moving your body can become a tool to helping you break the mind state of I want to quit, I want to stop, I want to be more comfortable. Because comfort and comfort zones are things that we need to be breaking. Yes, if you've trained hard and you've done things and you're doing things and you're really pushing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, financially to the brink of growth, some downtime is definitely essential and important. So I urge you to do that, right? So what do we have? Breath work, your I am statements, some movement, and then a huge piece of this puzzle, because, right, our body's a self-organized, self-regulating, self-healing mechanism. When we start fueling it in a way that is in alignment, see, as a chiropractor, you like that word alignment, but when we start fueling our body with the alignment of being healthy, it's a lot easier to do those other things because we're regenerating with healthy, good foods, good cells being recreated in our body. So when you start to do this, not only are you going to start to feel better, you're going to start to have a little more clarity. You're going to start to get better sleep, which is going to make those mornings a little bit easier for you to do your breath work and meditation, if you will, which then is going to make it easier for you to do those I am statements, because you're not saying, I am happy I'm eating a Snickers bar. No, that's never going to be a good thing. So it's going to get easier to do everything. So breath work, I am statements, do them as you walk through doorways. It's going to take you a little bit longer to walk through those doorways. And you may look at the doorway and go, am I going to walk through that doorway now? And you're going to say yes, because it's actually going to start to feel good when you start having that mantra that you're saying all day to yourself, so you can control those thoughts and actions. So the challenging and the suffering as you go through this, and we have like the breath, like we said, we're going to do the I am statements, and then you're going to move your body and then fuel yourself. And I also want to make sure that you're drinking your water like you're supposed to, and good clean water. So as you're doing these things, as you're going through these challenges, as you're pushing yourself a little bit, make sure your roadmap is basically in place. And what do I mean by basically in place? I want you to know where you are currently in the big scheme of things of your goal. If you say, hey, I want to make $100,000 this year, and you're currently making $10,000 a year, you need to know that you're making $10,000 a year. Because as you push forward, you need to have that goal in front of you. And is it going to be a straight line? Is it going to be easy? No. To get there, you may have these uphills, these downhills, just like a run in nature or exercise in nature. You're going to have to push certain times, and you're going to coast certain times. And that's really powerful, because as you have a start point and you have a place to go to, the journey becomes fun, right? Because what's going to happen when you reach that 100,000, that goal, hypothetically, right? Whatever that thing may be for you, you're going to realize, holy cow, this journey was a blast. Now what I'm going to do is just going to set the bar a little more. It may mean more money, maybe more vacation time, maybe more time with your family, with your cousins, your nephews, your grandparents, whatever it may be. You may be able to do more and more and more of this, which ultimately, what's the big picture? What's this big picture, right? Happy, healthy, long life, right? But one of the things that this is going to hopefully help you realize we need to do and have to do as humans is be happy. It's not worth being stressed, not worth being angry. It's not worth being frustrated and upset, because there's nothing that happens in that. Our body internally is in one of two phases, in defense or in growth. And I ultimately want you to be in growth, because you cannot be in growth and defense at the same time at the cellular level. So as you grow outside of that cellular level and this human body level, you're not going to be in defense or growth at the same time. You have to pick one or the other. So I urge you to choose growth in all areas of your life. And remember, challenges and suffering are optional. You can ultimately stay in that comfort zone if you want. I don't recommend it. It gets very boring, and it gets very easy. It's very easy to get lazy. Then we don't take care of ourselves, and it becomes a downward spiral until you recognize and wake up and go, holy crap, I should have been pushing myself a little bit, doing a little bit every single day to get better, because there is no end game as far as I know in this life. Who knows what comes after life, right? I don't. I've never experienced that. And I don't want to experience it for another 60 plus years of my life, right? I don't want to experience it until I have to. And then if I come back, I'll let you all know. All right. So really enjoy this life. Take those steps to be better for yourself. Make it fun. And I appreciate you all on the journey that we're going on together, being humans on this amazing planet. Let's do it. Let's stay human powered. Let's constantly grow from the inside out. I appreciate you all. Have a beautiful day, evening, or night from wherever and whenever you're watching and or listening to this. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Human Powered Life podcast. Make sure to head over to lifestylelocker.com to check out all the details on the show and to watch part 2 of this episode, which is only in video format. We also have this audio portion in video format if you want. Once again, I'm your host, Dr. Josh Hant, for the Human Powered Life podcast, and I'm looking forward to staying connected with you as a Human Powered Life hero. Remember to join the tribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.